academic study that ultimately was intended to improve retention and their degree completion rate. Challenges and opportunities that we've experienced recently include equity and inclusion, maintaining contact with those students that for the most part have been newcomers, virtual education experience. The college currently resides at about a 50% face-to-face percentage in terms of the courses that we're offering. So by virtue of both challenges in maintaining social distance within classrooms and having the appropriate facilities, but also the fact that we do have a significant student interest in maintaining virtual offerings, it's placed us at about 50% currently in face-to-face offerings for those classrooms. For budgets, we're just entering our new year planning sessions on Friday. That will be ongoing, and we'll have the benefit of participation of the new interim president in that process as well. Enrollments are a challenge right now for any community college in Washington. We budgeted for this enrollment to vary up to 5% offset. While our head count is lower than anticipated than that at about 18%, the revenue resulting from that enrollment is at 4.8%. So we're within budget on the revenue, which is an interesting anomaly given that our head count is actually lower at this time than anticipated. Additionally, if you've been to or near the campus anytime recently, you might have noticed the new construction that is located directly adjacent to the Washington State University campus building. That will be named our Cascade Learning Resource Center, and it will house, the biggest feature will be library facility. However, the intention is for that to also offer comprehensive services to, as a one-stop, if you will, for all academic purposes for any student, with a focus on students who are also parents. So there will be located there childcare and anything related to their studies once they've entered the college in their program. For the future plan, at the beginning of the year, the board also did adopt a new strategic plan. This plan provides an indication to how best all operations within the college meet the needs of access for every student. So for example, in this first session of our budget planning following that adoption of the strategic plan, we'll actually be able to index every financial decision that's made in that process to the intention of the strategic plan and the priority identified by the board. So that we're looking forward to that process as a first iteration and benefit from that in those discussions regarding how funds and resources are best allocated to meet the needs of all students within the county. We are looking forward to education and work in the post-COVID world. As I mentioned, that's probably going to look significantly different. We just today received approval from the State Board of Community and Technical Colleges to provide our very first bachelor's degree. It will be a Bachelor's of Applied Science in Accounting. So that'll provide an additional level of access for our existing students that they'll be able to obtain without necessarily having to transfer if accountancy is an interest that they have in their immediate future and at the baccalaureate level. We're also looking for increased offerings for weekend college that'll benefit our student parents significantly. And then also additional opportunities for workforce training and potentially programs that are more vocational in nature and may provide certificates for those that are seeking job preparation and immediate economic viability may not be associated with a traditional academic program. I want to thank you for all of your participation in the Rotary Scholarships programs, as well as our foundation events, including the upcoming foundation breakfast, and in general for your advocacy throughout the community and your willingness to have me speak with you here today to become aware and engaged in what we're doing here at the college. Are there any questions from the
Yeah, Joe, Gene Chase here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I don't know, you might not know this, but I was an old trustee there a few years ago. And I'm sort of watching this thing on the Early Learning Center thing. And I hope since there's a change of guard there, you guys really look at that hard, because like one of your things back there, students need help. As you know, we bring in a lot of students there that are first generation and that are tough with families. I hope you really take a hard look at that.
Absolutely. It's definitely our intention to do so. If you have had an opportunity to review the media coverage, including last evening at King 5, the current point of contention is the fact that we are not immediately looking forward into a decision on that. We're looking closely at the resources available and intend to remain support for early learning care in Snohomish County for the long term.
But it's like in any business, not everything makes a profit. I mean, it's sort of like Costco has chickens for $4.99 and hot dogs for $1.50, but there's a reason for it. They want to get you in there. Well, the only difference is you guys just you can get them in there, but you got to keep those students there. And the help you give with childcare and so on is important.
So true.
Hi, Joe. Dave Kraske had a question. Again, my apologies for mispronouncing your name.
No worries.
So there's been a tremendous amount of growth at the college over the last decade, especially with the satellite WSU campus. How are you guys poised for growth, continued growth? Are you getting to the point you're out of land, or is there a plan to continue to grow kind of in that footprint?
That is an ongoing discussion beyond what the needs are for today, and the recognition that on the west side of the campus, options are fairly limited for future growth as we incur currently on the surrounding residential neighborhood. Those options are being explored in the area of the Learning Resource Center that I talked about. And then additionally, there are adjacent lots, including the former Eagles Lodge, which has recently been purchased by the college in anticipation of future growth.
Thank you.
I have a question. So I heard that there is a partnership going between Health and Hope, Hope Works, Cocoon House, and Everett Community College to provide housing for young homelessness. Is there anything that you know about that?
So in that particular program, it's a collaboration with HopeWorks. It is to assure continuity of housing services. It's not one like the example where I spoke to within the dorms and the learning communities necessarily, but what the intention is to provide a wraparound in terms of those resources and continuity for those students and those with housing instability, with HopeWorks being one of the primary contributors to that project.
Mr. Whalen, any other finishing remarks or closing statements or calls to action, how the community can better support this great organization you guys have, which kind of, as was said in the last decade, has turned into really a force in education and also affecting healthcare. Any calls to action or any requests that you have for us?
Again, I would just say it's primarily advocacy. We're all highly aware of the fact that as the pandemic and the recovery that we're looking forward to lingers on, that those students that have benefited from the Rotary Scholarship programs may very well have the entirety of their experience comprised within the pandemic and maybe within a virtual experience. So we're looking to continue our support of those students and very much appreciate the support of Rotary in doing so.
Thank you again, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to present to us.
Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you.